Rick Neuheisel, CBS Sports college football analyst, and he was in Eugene for the big upset with Indiana and Oregon, which we'll talk about in a moment. We've been spending a lot of time talking about Penn State. Did Penn State do the right thing with James Franklin?
You know, it's hard to imagine a business saying it's the right thing when they're letting $50 million go out the door in dead money, which is exactly what this is. But I think, Dan, what we're in is an era where we're asking so much of our fan base to participate financially with NIL, the collectives. I know we're doing it in-house, but still, that money's got to come from somewhere. And so I think what we've got is a bunch of kind of pseudo owners, and this is what happened with Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. Some rich oil guy said, he's got to go. I'll write the check. And I'm sure something close to that happened at Penn State, and Pat Kraft had to move.
The record, if you just look at his overall record, you go, that's pretty impressive. And just about any university would sign up for that. But I said last week, there's the blue blood programs that wouldn't put up with that kind of one-loss record to ranked teams. Ohio State wouldn't, Michigan wouldn't, Alabama wouldn't, Georgia wouldn't. Penn State had to decide, do we want to be in that group? Are we going to accept this? And I thought Franklin did a wonderful job in restoring,
Agreed,
some of the greatness to that program, but it's not a coincidence that he couldn't beat, ranked teams.
The number of games that went the other way make it no longer a coincidence. I agree with that. There was something in the DNA that just didn't allow them to play free in those games. So I get it. I don't know that in the middle of the season it makes a lot of sense, but it does put them as the best job available. And if they're looking for a guy, I know Kurt Cignetti's name is the one that everybody's using. If they're looking for somebody, it does allow the wheels to start turning.
How do you get paid, or how does a university pay you when you get fired? Like, is it $49 million?
The Jimmy Sexton deal for Gus Malzahn was half of it was due in 30 days. So he had $21 million coming at the end of that deal. And so Gus got 10.8 in 30 days, and then over the life of the contract, they paid the other 10.8. I penned the song, "Did I Ever Tell You You're My Hero?" to Gus Malzahn. You're everything that I would like to be. Bette Midler didn't sing it with as much emotion as I did, I promise you.
The Indiana handling Oregon, you were at that game, and it felt like Indiana was the better team and kind of took control of it. Was there a turning point for you in that game?
I think it was shocking. I was thinking that the Oregon offense would be just too fast. I just had in my mind, maybe, the Midwestern farm plotters would be on defense, and it was just going to be lightning fast, whether it be the pace or the speed of the players. They kept their edges all day long. That is a dang good defense playing for Indiana, to go along with a rising star in Fernando Mendoza and two really good probable NFL guys playing wide receiver. I just think that's a really good football team, and I think it was kind of shocking to Oregon that they could not use their speed to an advantage. Give the Hoosiers all the credit in the world.
Talking to Rick Neuheisel, CBS Sports college football analyst. They were in Eugene for Indiana's win at Oregon. I'm watching the broadcast, and you were very matter-of-factly saying Bill Belichick will be relieved of his duties at North Carolina or something similar to that at the end of the year. Right?
I can't imagine this going much longer if what we're seeing continues. And what we're seeing is a very average to below average team on the field that doesn't look like they're having any fun, doesn't look inspired. The coach is taking, breaks in the middle of the season. I asked a couple of guys that I know who played for Coach Belichick, would he ever take like little rest vacations in the middle of a bye week? He says that car was parked in that parking lot 24/7. That's where he lived. I just don't see this as something that both sides are going to say can continue. One, for the legacy, especially if the money's right for Belichick. I see at the end of the season this going in a vastly different direction.
But does somebody hire him in the NFL? Let's say the Dolphins' job was open.
I can't imagine somebody can go and get Bill Belichick at this age, and given what we just saw. And the guy who said no distractions has been distraction with a capital D.
I thought it was a big win for USC, an impressive win to beat Michigan.
Woo.
I don't know how good Michigan is, and I'm not quite sure how good USC is, but you got to win that game knowing you got Notre Dame this weekend.
To me, it's the best win Lincoln Riley's had at SC because, as you point out, he has to be able to play with the bullies. And Michigan had just run roughshod over Nebraska, not so much in the points, but in terms of just running the ball. For SC to hold up in the trenches and to find a way to win that game puts them in the contest. And now they've got a real banner game this week against the Irish, kind of a must-win for both of them as it relates to CFP.
Any memories of South Bend? We're taking the show there later in the week.
You know, I've never been there for a game. I have been there for spring practice. I got to speak at a spring clinic for Brian Kelly. I have been there. Tony Alford used to be the running back coach. He was my running back coach at Washington, so he gave me the tour. The place is unbelievable. I mean, it is unbelievable. You're in for a treat, but it's going to be raucous for game day. And how about the Irish? With just kind of presto changeo, they're back right controlling their own destiny again with the 2 quality losses.
Great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Rick Neuheisel, former college coach, now an analyst for CBS Sports.